This dairy-free peppermint hot chocolate is ready in minutes with ingredients you likely already have in your pantry. You can make a mug of cozy festive comfort without needing a store-bought mix. Hello, I'm Catherine, Bryan's behind the camera, and this is a very simple recipe. But when we were thinking about our holiday lineup, I remembered that last year, when my mom was preparing for us to come home for the holidays, she asked which hot chocolate mix she could get for us, because the one for everyone else had milk powder in it. Very lovely and very thoughtful, but I was glad to tell her that if she had dairy-free chocolate chips and cocoa powder in her pantry, then we don't need a mix. Not all semi-sweet or dark chocolate chips are dairy-free, but if you tend to do vegan or dairy-free baking, then you probably have these in your pantry. And for 2 mugs of hot chocolate, I use 3 tablespoons of dairy-free chocolate chips and 1.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Depending on how dark your chocolate chips and cocoa powder are and how sweet you like your drinks, you might want to add some liquid sweetener to this recipe as well. And since it's the holidays, you might have some peppermint extract and candy canes laying around. Oh, and for the milk, I prefer oat and soy milks for hot chocolate because they're a little thicker and creamier than some other plant milk varieties, but today we only have almond milk, so that's what I'm using. Here's how to make 2 mugs of my dairy-free peppermint hot chocolate. Heat 3 cups oat milk or plant milk of choice in a small pot over medium-low heat. Make sure to stir occasionally and scrape the bottom to make sure no milk burns. You don't want this milk to boil, just warm, so the heat shouldn't be too high. Once you notice steam rising from the milk, whisk in 1.5 tablespoons unsweetened cocoa powder until dissolved. Then whisk in 3 tablespoons dairy-free chocolate chips until melted. I like to use a combination of a whisk and a wooden spoon to make sure no chocolate is sticking to the sides or bottom. Whisk in a 1/4 teaspoon pure peppermint extract and carefully give your hot chocolate a taste to see if you want to add in any sweetener depending on the sweetness of your chocolate chips and cocoa powder. To create some foam, you can quickly use an immersion blender or other frother. Pour into your mugs and top with whipped cream and or crushed candy cane if desired. I'm gonna attempt to put my homemade whipped cream on this, and I'm not too sure how this is gonna work and if it's gonna be too heavy and sink a little, but let's see. This is also like, I do not know how to pipe things. I think this will look pretty once it's all in there.
Go,
it's working.
go,
maybe you
go.
go fast.
Just
oh my gosh. I'll make this look nicer.
Commit.
This is so much whipped cream. This is what food stylists do, right?
What are you doing in there?
I'm trying to smooth it so that it looks prettier. Don't look. Perfect. Doesn't look quite as pretty as an aerosol whip, but it tastes better. If this isn't Christmas, I don't know what is. And I apologize, but I got a piece of candy cane.
In your teeth?
Yeah.
Who's drinking this one?
I already sipped from that, but why don't you?
We're married.
I'm gonna add whipped cream to this one too, but you can taste.
That is Christmas in a mug. Warm, why are we in clothes? We should be in PJs.
Uh-oh.
I meant PJ. That's what I was. Let me finish.
You should taste the non-whipped one.
The whip's nice. It kind of breaks it up a little bit, I think. I think I would prefer it with the whip. Like if you're gonna have a hot chocolate, be decadent.
Put some whip on it.
Yeah.
And although this isn't the kind of prettiest, most decadent hot chocolate compared to maybe a cafe version, these 2 mugs cost me just under $2.50, whereas a Starbucks tall costs us $5.15.
What are you gonna do with all this whip? This is really getting out of hand, let me tell you. Last video of 2024, we're a little punch drunk, I guess.
I was going to add...
Just use your hands. We're already drinking out of the same mug.
I want to use my hands for whip. I was going to say that this... I can't remember what I was going to say. It was something to the effect of... I was going to say that this is really simple, but sometimes when we get so used to convenience options like a hot chocolate mix, then it's easy to forget that you can still make this with things that you have in your pantry. So this recipe is linked below for you in the description. Let us know in the comments if you flavor your cocoa differently. And this is our last video for 2024. So
thanks so much for watching. 2024 was amazing and we can't wait for 2025. Hit that subscribe button. To 2024?
To 2024. Cheers.